so left-wing people are panicking in the UK at the news that waving a Palestinian flag may be a criminal offense. People are waking up right now. They're realizing, oh wait, we don't have free speech. Yeah, you don't. I've been saying this from, I think, 2018. You do have, like, the free speech corner in Hyde Park. But I think even there, if you wave the flag, you may still be in trouble. The UK, for years, had the policy that anything that is grossly offensive and is published online can be viewed as a crime. Did you not pay attention? Or was it that you were agreeing with it? I mean, the UK, let's see. It had a case where a guy left a bologna sandwich on the stairways of a mosque. He got arrested and he got murdered in prison. I mean, if that wasn't enough to create a national scandal and a discussion is like, well, did he actually had to die? Like, is this a crime which should be given a death sentence? And it's like, well, yeah, but the authorities didn't mean to. It's like, okay, but like, under whose supervision was he? Because when you go to prison, you're under the government supervision, so theoretically everything that's happening to you is the responsibility of the government. And someone has to pay, whether it is the warden, whether it is like the person that put him there. That wasn't the only thing, by the way. I mean, you even have ridiculous scenarios where a woman considered a dog shitting on her porch to be a hate crime. Right, so when you have, like, this level of government that can't help but start farm clown emojis on Twitter, don't be Pikachu face when you find out, oh, well, actually free speech doesn't exist, and if, like, things that are offensive can be crimes, at some point people may think that what I am doing is offensive. So yeah, now apparently the Home Secretary suggests clampdowns on pro-Arab chants in letter that will concern free speech advocates. Where are they, by the way? No, unironically, like, if we're talking about the United Kingdom, where are the free speech Who are they? How much funding do they have? I'm generally curious. Like, free speech do they even exist? Waving a Palestinian flag or singing a chant advocating freedom for Arabs in the region may be a criminal offense. In a letter, by the way, leftists most affected. Like, this is what I find more interesting. In a letter to Chief Constable in England and Wales, the Home Secretary urged them to clamp down on any attempts to use flags, songs, or swastikas to harass or intimidate members of the Jewish community. What I find interesting in this, like the way the writing is, like, if you intimidate members of the Jewish community without using flags, songs, or swastikas, like, is that allowed? Because I think, like, the problem is the intimidation aspect, right? Like, in a normal society, if you walk on a street, you shouldn't be intimidated by other people. Like this is the actual issue, not the way that the intimidation is being conducted. Am I? And of course, there's certain degrees of intimidation. Like, some intimidation can just be in a person's head. Like, if you see a muscular man walking up towards you on the street, you may feel intimidated, but that's not his fault, right? So, like, that is like a you problem, not a him problem. Versus if you're walking down the street and a man just pulls a machete and he's looking at you with a frowny face, well, that is something that I do believe should be at least considered a public disturbance. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's like, oh, waving a flag. So like, if you intimidate without waving the flag, are you saying that? In the letter, Brevman said to police should not restrict themselves to potential offenses related to the promotion of Hamas. It is not just explicitly pro-Hamas symbols and chants that are cause for concern. I would encourage police to consider whether chants such as "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free" should be understood as an expression of a violent desire to see Israel erased from the world, and whether its use in a certain context may amount to a racially aggravated section of public order offense. Again, all these leftist activists for years have been working tirelessly to create this system. Like, you're not in the United States. In the United States, you'd be able to say this. But you're not in the United States. You're in the UK. And in the UK, you wanted trust and safety. It's overwhelmingly left-leaning activists. Like, I haven't seen right-wing activists demanding censorship since the Bush era. In the Bush era, they were, yes, like they were right-wing activists that were like, oh, well, we need to ban this comic book because it has depictions of demons in it. Harry Potter is problematic because it has witchcraft and wizardry. Yeah, no, it existed. Like, I'm aware, okay? Unfortunately, I lived on this earth for a couple of decades to remember those times. But I haven't seen them advocating for censorship for decades. No, people that advocated for censorship started with, I think, like third wave feminists. Oh, we need to keep society more safe, so we need to remove sexism. Then it moved to racial grifters that were like, okay, well, we need to purge the internet for jokes. South Park, horrible, you know. So anyway, I would encourage police to give similar consideration to the presence of symbols such as swastikas and anti-Israeli demonstrations. What is swastikas, like, already considered offensive in the UK? Context is crucial. Oh, I'm glad. You know, like, the thing that I can expect is for a police officer to be enlightened enough to figure out the context of a crime that is being committed. Yeah, absolutely. Imagine, like, if you have a group of people that are outraged and they are telling a police officer that this guy is offensive, and now the police officer, even if he thinks that, well, actually he's not, what do you think his response is going to be, given the fact that he's being pressured by a group of people, huh? And the law allows him to have the wiggle room. I remember, like, the perfect example was when an old lady was pointing out that people were praying in Hyde Park, and that wasn't allowed. But the police didn't find that offensive, right? But there were other events where Christians tried to replicate that, and they immediately were found offensive. See how it works? Like, when you give wiggle room? This is why the law is working a lot better when there is less wiggle room. There should be some wiggle room, but usually, like, when it comes to fines, punishments, but like, whether or not you broke the law, it shouldn't be up to the cop to decide. It's like, well, it seems offensive to me, so therefore you're punished. Or, yeah, actually, this is not offensive. That's fine. So anyway, nor is it acceptable to drive through Jewish neighborhoods or single out Jewish members of the public to aggressively chant or wave pro-Palestinian symbols at. Where harassment is identified, I would encourage the police to take swift action. Right, so, like, again, like, are you telling me that if you do this without the symbols, then it's fine? Did you not see a problem with the way you're wording and the legislation? No? Oh, okay. I encourage all chief officers to ensure that any protest which could exacerbate community tensions by the way of offensive placards, chants, or behaviors that could be construed as incitement or harassment have a strong police presence. Right. Again, what can I say? I mean, the left created this, and now I see the left crying. The only reason I care about this is to manage to make a video where I say, I told you so. And I did tell you so. I mean, for the last decade that I had this channel, I've been constantly making videos telling people, hey, you know, if you advocate for censorship, the censorship apparatus will eventually be used against you. Maybe not this year, maybe not in 5, but eventually there will be something that you support that the censorship apparatus doesn't like, and you'll be censored. So don't give the Pikachu face now. It's like, oh my god, well, I'm in Britain and the British government is considering what I'm doing offensive, even though, like, it's my free speech. Like, you don't have free speech. You're in the UK. Okay, if you want free speech, go to the United States. And don't go online. You don't have free speech online. But if you're in the United States outside, yes, outside you have free speech. It's probably one of the only places in the world where you can still have free speech. In America. Outside of America, not many places. Let me know what you guys think. Oh yeah, Romania. You have free speech in Romania. Yeah, you can do this shit in Romania. You can do it. It's legal. People will look at you, they will think you're cringe. And ironically, no, if you start waving flags, you're cringe. But other than that, yeah. If you don't cause a public disturbance, I guess we're more enlightened than the West now, huh? Eastern Europe. Yeah, the West needs a little bit of communism. Just a little bit, like 10 years or so. A small dose of communism, 10 years. A little bit more would be cruel. But after 10 years, I guarantee you would go back to people wanting freedom, wanting liberty, wanting all that good shit. Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.